this one military base that like had $500 toilets.
What? Why?
Because that's money laundering. That money's not going to $500 toilets. Money's going somewhere else. But for every toilet on the base, it was like $500 of taxpayer money.
So,
and there
basically,
was like
from what I'm hearing,
toilets on base.
From what I'm hearing, the Department of Government Efficiency wants regulation, even though conservatives don't like regulation. That's just how I'm hearing it.
Oh, 100% small town republic. They know exactly where all that money's going. We just don't.
Hey, look. I hope that that's true, but as long as that Pentagon money gets like straightened out, I'll be happy with it. I just don't, because like Trump said that like it's not going to be a permanent thing.
It's not even.
It's only going to be a temporary thing. So
it's the Department of Defense, it's the Pentagon, it's the CIA. It's the CIA doesn't even do the CIA's job anymore. Like that, they haven't since the Cold War. CIA was created as a completely different, the counterintelligence agency.
I thought they were the
They do the job for like every other agency.
When we were in our teenage years, I thought that they were the coochie intelligence agency.
Yeah.
I was like, they're spying on every woman.
No, that's the NSA.
That's they gonna
Twitter and Snapchat, buddy?
Are they going to gut the NSA? Are they going to?
Wasting money on Ukraine and gender surgeries for Africans should come to an end, hopefully. Yeah, it probably will.
The what for Africans? The fuck? Huh?
So yeah, they were offering like free gender reassignment surgery for people that were like illegal immigrants and shit. Like this was happening last year.
Where the hell? Where did that get? I'm not saying that y'all are wrong. I'm just saying I didn't see that shit. Where was that a story at?
There's a lot of people talking about it.
I just didn't. By the way, Pilgrim, not to grammar not to like grammar.
There's an
police
I in
you,
Ukraine,
but
sir.
There is an I in Ukraine, buddy. I'm sorry to say, but
yeah,
yes.
There's
also, I would be totally for just not having our money go into any war. That would be nice for the first time in our lifetimes. Not having any money going to wars that we're not fighting would be nice. That we have zero business being a part of would be nice. But
I've said that to people, and then people are like, well, that's how Hitler rose to power because we didn't get involved early enough.
No.
It's like, yeah.
Hitler rose to power because Germany got burned down and we didn't help them to rebuild. That was why Hitler rose. Hitler rose to power because
they're equating Ukraine to Poland, where Hitler kind of just took Poland and everybody was like, okay. That's what it is.
Huh? What?
That actually is true. Yeah, forgot about that.
Where was that a story? I'm not saying that y'all are wrong. I just didn't see it.
I don't give a fuck how you spell Ukraine.
I don't give a fuck that you have red hair. Commie country. Almost every country is communist now.
Not by
definition. I said almost every. I didn't say every. I said
not by
almost
definition. They have commie views. Bro, half of the people in our universities have communist views and they're like, I'm a socialist. It's like, I don't think you know what that means. Because
there is a difference that people don't get, because Like, communism is basically socialism, but you take what socialism is and you make it worse. And socialism is not close to communism. All people have to do is take a sociology class, and you would actually know that. But people don't. They're literally just like, I am socialist, but I have communist views. No, you have socialist views.
No, they
You don't have
won't.
communist views.
They won't say
Like,
that they have commie views, but a lot of them do.
well, socialists are not close to communists, but people, because they sound close, people use like the phrase socialist and they call them communist. But really, in terms of their like ideology, they're not close. Because in practice, communism is a bad thing, whereas socialism is not as bad if it's done right. Communism's never ever done right, so therefore communism's bad.
I don't think either one of them's really ever been done right.
I can make the art.
Is there a country around today that's doing socialism great?
Denmark,
Sweden,
Norway. Yeah.
What's the crime rate in any of those places? It's like close to zero.
Huh? What?
The crime rate in any of those places was like close to zero. And then Sweden had all the fucking immigrants show up and the crime rate rose, but they didn't have the people to defend.
That's not a result of socialism. That's just people.
No, just say it's they can't defend themselves either.
Sweden, 99% of their people vote, whereas here, 40. Here and me, I'm not even for getting rid of capitalism, but I'm just saying, in our capitalist country, 49% of the country votes. Our media is like corrupt as hell. In a capitalistic country, whereas in Sweden they have a much more open like media and such, right? Also, they have anti-corruption laws in a socialist country, whereas here it's all just, and like I said, I'm not for getting rid of capitalism, but capitalism allows for money to be unchecked and unfettered. So what I've always been for is just putting in regulation to make sure that money does not get spent in the wrong way. So if people want to say that I have socialist views for that, okay, that's fine. But I think that money should not, like, people, like, Bezos should not be able to send his money to the Cayman Islands when we have people sleeping out on the street. That's just my own view. Like he runs a business, but he makes so much money that there has to come a point where like everyone's kind of like, bro, you make $9 million a day. You can give $1 million of that to help out people. Like, and if people call me socialist for that, fine. I really don't care. But like, these people, their wallets will not hurt.
What do you mean these people?
I'm saying the people that I am referring to, like, Bezos, Gates, Zuck, Musk, like
Zuck,
like their wallets would not take a hit. $1 million is like a cent to. It's like a cent to them.
I feel like if out of any of them, Elon probably would take a hit because he's putting so much money into like SpaceX and Tesla.
See, but like the thing is, though,
I agree with that, though. Like you shouldn't force them to, but like morally, absolutely.
But
he's not a moral person.
So I can see where Pilgrim is like coming from, But like Bezos and like, Mark Zuckerberg, they're sitting on billions of dollars. And I just think that if you have that much money, you should help your fellow man out. At least like, a little bit.
Well, you should.
You only want people who actually care to vote. Otherwise, you get more uninformed people voting for stupid-ish. Capitalism is not the issue. I am for getting money out of elections, though. I'm not saying that capitalism as a whole is bad. What I'm saying is that capitalism needs, think of it in like video game terms. Capitalism needs like a patch, because I don't think that capitalism in its current state works, at least for us. That's just my own view. Because the corporations are just allowed to dictate the price of food, gas, everything. And that's because our politicians are bought and paid for.
Yeah, that's because they're all bought and paid for by
right. So money is just value. Capitalism is just a value-based system. If it's unrealized gains, then they don't actually have the money. It's just the power to influence companies via stocks and such.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Don't have to like it, but it's their money. So if they just want to stockpile it, they are free to do so. Well, we just kind of have a little bit of a disagreement there, just in the sense that I don't
see, Roman, like if you and I were rich, we would put money into other things. And there's plenty of people out there that do. Like there's plenty of millionaires, multimillionaires out there that do that. And some billionaires, but it's also like it's like when Anakin's talking to Padme in Attack of the Clones, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, they should be made to agree. And she's like, who's gonna make them agree? You? And he's like, well, no, of course not me, but someone should make the Senate agree. Like that's kind of
so to this point, we already do in terms of taxes, but the government does not spend our money right, which is why I am for having it be that we actually see. This is what Sweden and Norway and Denmark, this is what they get to do. They get to vote on what their money's spent on. See, we don't get to actually do that here. We vote for people who claim to care about certain things, and then when they get into power, they all just do the same thing. So what I'm for is, yes, the money that we take out of taxes should go to roads, bridges, schools, and veterans, and people that need help. That's what that should go to. But the problem is we get taxed, and then our money goes to war, and our money goes to Wall Street. That's what happens. That is the part of that is the part of capitalism that I don't like. That is what I don't like. And
me millionth dollar.
Me and like
money.
And like I'm not like someone. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, "You have socialist views." I was like, "No." I said, "I'm post-capitalist," which, like, basically, I'm not for getting rid of capitalism. I think that capitalism works. We just need to think of it in terms of a video game. It just needs a patch, because letting it lie the way that it's lying now, our country's not going to be able to function in like 35 years, 40 years, if we just let it be the way that it is now.
Well, there is something to that, because we're almost 300 years old, and
we haven't changed really.
No, that is as long as Rome lasted before Rome fell. 300 years.
Are you trying to say something there, Roland?
I'm just trying to say that there hasn't been a single empire on the planet that's lasted more than 300 years.
Well, see, the thing is, okay, America itself,
whether you think America has it or not, like it is in modern terms an empire.
all right, America itself will last, but the functionality of it won't if things don't change. Like people
Cue Cyberpunk. Yeah, dude, I'm all for it.
People being able to function easy in a modern society will not be able to last if things don't change, because eventually the corporations are just going to be like, well, these people need eggs and bread, so why don't we make it $20 to $30, and people are going to buy this food because it's needed and because people are desperate for it.
Moral of the story is learn how to grow vegetables and buy some chickens.
You want the government paralyzed for most things so they stay out of the way of people. Capitalism is a natural system, so don't mess with it. Instead, we need to be more protectionist for our people. I think that capitalism, see, like, you weren't about taxes you weren't about, I agree, taxes are going to shit. Anyone with a single brain cell would agree, but that's not what you were talking about before. Well, no, see, look, right? So what I'm saying is that, like, if you put a tax on every cent after Bezos' billionth dollar, everything that everyone calls radical, like paying for healthcare for all people, is paid for. There are literal studies that have came out of Yale and Duke that with the money that Bezos makes in 1 year, we could give everyone a healthcare plan 4 times over. Times over.
I agree. I just like that you keep mentioning Bezos and not any of the other ones, and I'm okay with that because he made Rings of Power, got his ass.
Well, no, because like
got his
out
ass.
of all of them, I hate Bezos most actually.
Like, bro, he's spending. This motherfucker is like Dr. Evil. Like, he's spending a fuck ton of money on a random clock in the middle of the mountains of Nevada or some shit.
Yeah, why? Why? Like, for what, bro? Give that money to veterans who are homeless.
And it tolls like every like fucking 100 years or some shit. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Why? What do you know?
He's not going to be here for it, is he?
For whom the belt? I don't think he'll live another 100 years. Who the fuck does? Bro, if the cyberpunk shit's real, he will. Yeah, that's true.
As a person in their 30s, you will understand that even cops are not required to help you, so don't expect the government to do that either. Your best bet is friends and family. We all end in the ground. See, I like that type of a discussion because I'm not saying that the government is our friend. What I'm saying is What I'm saying is leaving everything unchecked is not going to help anybody. I'm saying that there has to be some sort of reform that, like, we take what these corporations do and we're like, no, you're not going to give our politicians billions of dollars and then you get loopholes and you're just like allowed to raise the price of bread to like, $17 a loaf. No, because that is why this inflation has been happening, because corporations are like, here, Pelosi, Schumer,
Biden,
McConnell, take our billions of dollars and then look the other way while we raise the price of eggs and bread to like, what is a loaf of bread now? Like $4 to $5, $6, $7. Whereas like in, years past, it wasn't that way. So the point that I'm making is that yes, capitalism is not bad, but it needs to be checked, because leaving it the way that it is now is not going to benefit anybody. So I see where y'all are coming from. I just have a respectful disagreement in the sense that I don't think that just not doing anything won't help. I think that that's not going to help anything. But hey, y'all are entitled to your own views, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That is absolutely glorious, and I'm just glad that we can have, like, in this day and age, still civil conversations. Like, it's a nice thing. It's a rarity nowadays.
That's true, Muffler. 9/11, 08, and COVID. We have not recovered from any of them. That's true.
Huh.
We started a business in 08 because we did fucking, what's it called? My parents bought and it was a massive risk. They bought a self-storage facility and 08 hit. And it was actually like the perfect time for that, unfortunately. And we lost that business during COVID. So,
damn.
12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 years.
13, well,
maybe.
To this point, though, everything that I am talking about, I'm saying it in a hypothetical sense where, the government was not ran by, corporations and such. The stuff that I am talking about is if, the politicians cared. But, like, to your point, every time that we've had a financial crisis, what happens every single time? The corporations get bailed out. The people get
fucking bailed out.
What happened?
The banks get bailed out.
The banks, but the corporations do too, bro. The freaking airlines did. The freaking cruise industry did.
Because the airline, Boeing's always going to get bailed out because Boeing makes all of our military aircrafts.
Well, no, but like
a lot of our military tech. Like,
I'm saying, during COVID, Roland, there were 3 corporation / bank bailouts. We got 1 stimulus check.
No, I know.
One.
Most people didn't even get one.
Right.
A lot of people. I didn't get one.
I got mine in December. They were issued in May of 2020. I got mine in December of
I got one and it was what was everybody's 1,000 something?
Mine was 975, I think.
Yeah, dude, mine was $300.
What?
Yeah. Mine was $300 because I was running the warehouse at the time, so I could work during COVID. So, but I was barely making any fucking money anyway.
It was.
So it's I could have used it. I could have definitely fucking used it.
The checks were supposed to be $1,500.
Yeah, I didn't. I know. I had friends that were like, "Well, I'm not going to go back to work because I just got $1,500." And it's
that's okay, not going to last.
I'm working, and with me still paying off things, I won't have $1,500 in that account.
That wasn't meant for people to not work. That was meant to help to keep people afloat until they could go back to.
Again, I didn't get $1,500. I got $300 to $400, something like that.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, those motherfuckers didn't help me at all. That was week's pay. You gave me a week's pay.
Meanwhile, the banks got $13 trillion bailed out to them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think maybe as a country, we maybe got collectively $85 million. Maybe. If that. But the point that I'm making is that yes, everything that I would want would be in a hypothetical world because it's not going to happen in this current world. But every time that there's a crisis, the government just goes and bails out the banks first, not us. The banks, they have to fight in the Senate over whether or not to bail us out.
Yeah,
but they're all in unanimous agreement. Let's go and bail out the banks, and let's go and bail out Boeing and Raytheon and such. our government is so freaking broken. And like that's why
And not in the good
you guys
years.
probably think that like I'm crazy for wanting like government like, programs like, government like healthcare and such. But when I talk about that, I'm saying it as a hypothetical. If our government was not, the way that our government is, I know it's not going to happen. But like the point that I'm making is that like our government is so freaking broken that like if something doesn't change in 35 to 40 years, yes, America will still be around. We will still be a thing, but the foundations are crumbling now. They're like on a very, very thin line. And if one more person steps on it, the whole foundation crushes. And I don't want that to happen. I really don't. I see a time if things don't change where like eggs are like $25 a carton. I see that happening.
Yes. We'll just go into another depression.
And like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that, Pilgrim.
We'll see. We'll see.
Roman, I have a genuine question for you.
What's up? Ask.
If the next 4 years make your life a lot better, will you look back differently on Trump?
If, sure, but they're not, so no.
But if they do.
If like, they do, sure.
Like, we're talking hypothetically. Like, what if, like... Because, personally, the 4 years that he was in office before these past 4 years, my family was doing a lot better. And my dad's medical is insane. Like, we're struggling, like, all the time because of that. But we weren't struggling then, right? And I look back, I see that. I see that difference.
Well,
so I'm saying, like,
I would submit though that and this isn't just like me saying this, this is quite literally proven, like, and like, yes, credit to Trump for that, economy. That was a fantastic economy. I'm not going to say that it wasn't, but he went into office with an economy that had since like bounced back, but everything that was happening to fix the economy took place under him, and he just let it happen. So yes, things were better under him. I'm not saying that they weren't, but that wasn't due to him.
But
that
I'm
was
saying
just due
in the best of worlds, right?
In the best of worlds, yeah, sure.
Wait. He puts all these things in place, and you come out of 2028, and you're like, wow, that was some of the best 4 years I've seen in this country for me specifically, not for everybody else. Like regardless, like my like whatever, your family, you, like whatever, like you're like economy wise, like social governance wise, like things like that. You're like, wow, this was a great 4 years for our country. Will you look back differently?
Yeah, sure.
Will you be like, you know what? Like, will you ever admit, like, when you're fucking 50 years old, be like, Trump was a good president those 4 years? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he did good stuff in his first term, so yeah, sure. But my life did not, improve under him. My life did not improve under, Biden. So I'm just saying, I just don't really expect my life to change all that much. But
I understand that. I'm more so asking because I know how you feel about the guy. So I'm just saying, would your opinions on the man change if certain things would have happened? Like
my opinions on him as a president?
Like my dad, for instance, like my parents, like they look back and they're like, Reagan was a great president. You're like, will you look back when you're like in your 50s and look back and be like, Trump was a good president?
Okay, so So would you say that my answer is bullshit if I said that there's multiple different ways of looking at that question?
No,
Because maybe
there is. But I mean,
well,
overall, like combining all of them is what I mean. Like on the simplest of simple terms.
with everything that I know, it would be like half and half. If he if he if he like if he does a fantastic job, there's still all of the Island Man shit. There's still all of the corruption shit. So it would be like half and half. Whereas like now, it's like 90-10. So yeah, yes. I would think that he would be remembered, at least in my eyes, as like he had a good 4 years. So yeah. Yeah. But I would never like look back at him and say like, man, I was wrong about him as a person. Like, no. That will never change. But I think if he does well, yeah. Yeah. I have no problem saying that he if he does well, that he did well. I just don't see that happening. But hey.
Well, this will be interesting. We'll look back on this in 4 years.
But flip side question, if the tariffs fuck everything up, are you all going to say Roman was right? I mean,
if they fuck everything up, I think everybody will be saying like they fucked everything up.
Well, I mean, I don't want that to happen, but before y'all voted, y'all didn't do research on tariffs, and that's clear to me. Because the other countries don't pay for the tariffs. We pay for them. So
I didn't vote for him on tariffs.
What happened?
I didn't vote for him on tariffs.
Well, no, but the people who said, well, I want the economy to get fixed and the tariffs, right? Like, if you put a 25% tariff on Canada, right? And Canada makes like most of our lumber, right?
Bro, it's crazy you bring that up because I have something to say about Canada in a second.
Yeah. Well, no, but like, I'm saying though, like Trump's tariffs are not in principle a bad idea. The problem is we don't make anything here. So because of that, the taxpayers are going to have to pay for tariffs that like the other countries are not going to pay for it. But
that's beginning to change though, because more so now, like yes, like iPhones and shit, never. But more so now, you're seeing a lot more made in America things on products, or like I'm gonna use my beef jerky as my favorite beef jerky, for example. American made. That makes me want to buy it. But not only does it make me want to buy it, it's fucking delicious. American made.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Like there is certain stuff that's like I'm seeing now more often, especially since I worked in retail, and then like even now, like all of our products at my work right now.
Yeah.
Then that's because, funnily enough, this country has the monopoly on a lot of that tech is Germany. So Germany makes all of like your filters for fish tanks, your lights, like all that stuff is German. I would sooner support German-made products than I would Chinese-made products.
Well, no, but like the point that I'm making is that like
I'm seeing a lot more stuff that says "made in the USA."
Well,
and that makes me go, well, if I see this one, and I get that value from my mom because when we go on our road trips, she likes to buy like for instance, like like if we go to a national park, she likes to get a Christmas ornament from the national park, but she'll only buy a Christmas ornament from said national park if it says "made in the United States." She won't get it if it's not. And even if it's our favorite park and she wants to have one from there, she will sooner we'll go home after the trip and find somebody that's made one on like Etsy or something and get
Well,
a American made one first.
well, I will say, and I know that saying that is like, or I know that saying this is like, is like,
Bro, it's really snowing
trepidatious.
out. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's really snowing out. Look out your window.
Damn. No, but I know that it's like trepidatious around these parts to say this, but like, I mean, a lot of the made in America stuff, like Trump did some of that, but like the infrastructure bill, Biden, now Biden didn't do it, but technically his people brought 800,000 manufacturing jobs back into this country. I think we should make everything. We should make everything.
Fuck
Not
yeah.
have other countries make like all of our stuff.
Hey, I mean,
So,
Chrysler still does. Chrysler's still in Detroit.
well, right, no, but like the point that I'm making is that when it comes to the tariffs, right? Like if we tariff China and they just, decide, hey, well, we don't want to pay for this, then like the already expensive technology, like, look, I get it. It's not needed, but like people, like, say you want to go and buy a TV, right? And say that like, a 70-incher is like what, $1,000? Think of it in this way. Under that tariff, it would now be like $2,000 to $3,000. So just think of it in that way. Now, do I want this stuff to happen? No. But anybody that does any research on tariffs knows that whenever a tariff is done, the country that is being tariffed never ever pays for it. We have tariffs against us. We're not paying for them. So, I mean, I'm just saying tariffs would work if we made everything. But because we don't make everything, that's not really a way to solve anything.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, too, Apple is an American company, and if shit went down with China, they would find another country. It wouldn't be America, but they would find another country with cheap labor. They would do it.
Right, but that's just a whole nother can of worms. But
because they're greedy motherfuckers. They're like, they don't give a shit.
100%.
They don't give a shit that there's like mad amounts of self deletion at the Apple companies where they have to put nets on the windows and
bro,
fucking kids building phones. Like they don't give a fuck about that,
bro. The kid, like, look, but like, I think that like Joe Rogan made this point once. He was actually talking to my guy Kyle Kulinski.
I literally thought you were going to say Kyle Rittenhouse for some reason.
No. But like they were like talking about how like slaves make phones, but like are you just not supposed to have a phone? No, but like kind of also at the same time though.
That's what sucks because it's a necessity these days. It's not a phone is a necessity if you want to get anywhere.
Yeah,
you need some sort of technology to do anything.
Right, but like to your point though, we should be making our phones here. Dude, it's supply and demand. You force the business back into the States so you protect your wages and such. With free trade, it's a race to slavery as China pulls us down.
I can't disagree with that.
But that's not what's going to happen though.
But
that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't get through this since they won't change. And it, like, the way I see it is, like, if these tariffs were to, like, be put in place, right, it might make things difficult for a little bit. But as American companies grow and American companies pick up the slack and do that stuff themselves, it takes time. It's not something that's going to happen in 4 years. Like, it would have to stay relevant. It would have to continue for it to work.
Well, we would all be feeling that hurt, though, for, like, a long time.
But is it better for the greater good? is the question at the end of the day.
If we bring our manufacturing back here in full, yes, but Trump's not going to do that.
But he can't.
Oh.
It won't take. It'll take longer than 4 years to do that. But putting the things in place, like it will take an adjustment time. Exactly, it will take an adjustment time. It's not just about us; it's about the future. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Muffler. So
Right, but the point is, it can work.
Loss. It's a current loss for a greater win. It is we lose a battle to win the war type of situation.
We're not going to get the win if the manufacturing jobs don't come back here. That's the whole point that I'm making.
You can force them back. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, if he needs to put the things in place, and then the next president needs to also.
He's not going to try to do that though.
Leave him be.
He didn't do it in his first term. He literally outsourced 900,000 jobs, and that's not me saying that. That is literally like the Bureau of labor that said, "Hey, our own president shipped out 900,000 jobs." That's not me saying that.
Maybe his views changed.
His view, bro. I'm telling you,
bro. New year, new me. What are you talking about, dude? New year, new me. What if
he has not?
Donald Trump's New Year's resolution.
He has not changed in the slightest at all. He is still the same old dude.
How do you know that though? You learn from your past mistakes, and if you made mistakes in your first term, you make Roman. You yourself, I don't know if you still do, but back in the day, you aspired to be in government. If you had a first term and you something happened and it didn't work the way you planned it, you'd come back and be like, well, I still want to get this done. Or maybe
that would be wonderful if I tried something. But the point that I'm making is that I would never in my life sit there and when I'm talking about when Trump ran back in 2016. He said, I'm going to save your factories. I'm going to save your power plants and such. And then he just sits there and he just, allows the factories to close. He just allows the power plants to close. So but
why?
Some of
that was also on the states themselves. That wasn't just him.
But see, the thing is,
I don't blame Biden for California. You know what I mean? That's Gavin Newsom's fault as to where California is.
True. No, but there are a million things that you can blame Biden for, though. But the point that I'm making is that this wouldn't be a big deal if Trump's followers were he's a human being and sometimes he has messed up. But
I think there's a lot of people that say that though. I say that. There's a lot of people that'll be like, yeah, there's a fuck up here or there.
Bro, if you then you must be talking to the nice ones because I'm
talking to the normal people who are in the middle. People that are just completely middle of the road. The day-to-day fucking work person who's just I want the government to stay out of my shit as much as possible and stop fucking things up. That's where I'm at. That's where I've always been. So I don't fall closer to one side or the other. And yeah, Pilgrim's also correct, and I'll bring Muffler Tape's thing back up in a second. But Pilgrim says, bro, a lot of MAGA people admit he messed up stuff up. And that's what I'm saying. No one's perfect, but also Muffler Tape says if you make the tariffs high enough that it's cheaper to make them here than it would be made here, the demand will stay the same if it's a necessity, like a phone. But yeah, I know a good amount of people that will admit he made mistakes. Bro, fucking Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, who fucking is obsessed with Donald Trump, still admits mistakes that he made. He will talk about those mistakes on CobraCast.
But like,
and that was the other thing. His hiring was he hired really bad people for the jobs.
And he's pretty much done the same thing this
I
time
don't know,
around
dude.
too.
I like JD Vance as a person.
Bro.
Roman, he's us. He's a fucking nerd like us.
I don't care if he's a nerd. JD Vance is a bootlicking dude who
I don't
like
think
he's not.
He's ex-military. He grew up being raised by his grandmother. He has a big thing to help the his one of the things that he wants to do, and we'll see if he does it. But one of the things that he wants to do the most is help with the drug fucking epidemic that we have in this country. And because his parents both were drug addicts, that's why he was raised by his grandmother. And like, I'm all for that. If you're
then why did he vote to cut funding for drug research?
Drug research is completely different than drug addicts on the streets like Kensington.
No, well, because people need to, because like drug research, you search into why people get like addicted onto these drugs.
We know why. We know why.
All right, but the point that I'm making is
drug research has to do with researching new drugs, researching drugs to give people. Like, we know everybody in this country understands that giving somebody opioids is a bad fucking idea. But we do it anyway. Because it works for some people. But it doesn't work for most people.
Well, like back to this point though.
I did watch the full fucking 3.5 hours of him talking about that with Joe, and it was very interesting shit.
Nothing.
I don't think JD Vance is a bad guy.
So, well, you can think that, but he is one. But hey, no.
Well, he's a politician. But like, as far as politicians go.
But to this point, I would say, like, since we have to have a 2-party system, I am, I guess, a Democrat technically, and I would say that like stuff that Biden did, it was like enough to the point that I was not going to vote for him a second time. So my question is there anything that Trump could like genuinely do that y'all would just be like, I'm done with him? Because if Biden did the stuff that Trump did, but like it was Biden, y'all would just be like he's worse than how like y'all view him now. But like, you know, because Trump did it, he gets a pass. And like, that's not me saying that. But like, people were like, you know, there were no wars under Trump. Biden ended the drone war. No one ever brings that up. But like,
what no drone war?
The drone war. Trump increased bombings of drones by 432%. Biden ended it. Trump promised to pull out of the Iraq war.
We also took out the leader of ISIS and his fucking family in that drone war. What about fucking Obama, who started said drone war with fucking Biden? The two of them started that shit.
Of course. Yes. But Trump promised to end it, and he didn't. Biden did.
We also did, yeah, but there wasn't, ISIS wasn't a fucking thing until Trump was in office. It wasn't a big threat. Then it became a threat.
They were literally talking about ISIS when Trump was running the first time, though.
That's what I'm saying. But they weren't a threat, like Al-Qaeda level threat. They became that.
Well, my whole point is, though, like
they're a threat now. You know, the motherfucker that just got the poor, horrible fucking thing that just happened in New Orleans. That motherfucker had an ISIS flag. Like, they're still a threat. Like, that's fucking wiping
off. Doesn't mean that you just. That doesn't mean that you don't drone the whole country. No, but like
that's a topic for a different fucking stream.
Well, the point that I'm making is that when he ran in 2016, right? Trump promised to lock up Hillary Clinton. Did he? No.
Yeah, and he said he never will.
He
Also
should.
said that he well, yeah, but he also said it won't look good in the long run. And he also said that
Who cares?
I agree, Roman, I agree, but he's like it'll only make things worse for the people in the long run. And I also agree with that. But
Worse for the people? It's Hillary Clinton.
it will cause more division.
No one likes Hillary Clinton.
There's still people out there that do. I can guarantee you that. And on top of that, he also said, when asked, would you pardon Hunter Biden? He said, yeah, because it's not worth it.
Well, I actually don't agree with pardoning Hunter Biden, actually. But,
neither do I, but Biden did it first. That was Biden's last act as president, was to pardon his son.
Well, but the thing that I'm saying though is that and I could go down the list, but I really don't feel like it because y'all can go and look it up for yourselves. Don't take my word for it, but the promises that Trump broke, he gets a pass for. But the stuff that Biden did, people are like, look, Biden is terrible, which Biden is terrible. But Biden did a lot of the same stuff that Trump did, but that never ever gets talked about. Ever. So I'm just saying there is a double standard. And I think that history, if I'm right, which I'm saying I don't want to be right, but I think history will prove me right that maybe just in terms of economics, Biden wasn't better, but he was on the same level as Trump is kind of my whole point.
I mean, yeah, we could all look back over the next 4 years and be like, wow, that was fucking horrible. That's the question though, right?
If
one thing, however, cannot be denied, we have gotten the best political memes from Donald Trump over the past fucking 10 years.
And Biden too, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We have gotten the best political memes ever. And you know what? If one thing is in history, it'll be that time was fucking hilarious.
No, bro, look. When we were in high school, because Trump was president for most of our high school days, bro. Every morning on Twitter was the funniest thing ever to see. Whenever he would post on Twitter, that was so funny.
That's still one of my favorites. Shut up, silly woman. I love it.
See,
Bernie Sanders.
I've always said this.
Landing on the podium, and he just raises his hands up in the air, and everybody starts clapping because a little
Bernie Sanders, yeah.
And dude, they play fucking the one that I saw was Lil Wayne. And as soon as the bird lands, he raises his arms. Hello, motherfucker. What's good? How you doing? I'm like, yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
No, but Trump's the thing that I think that our chat doesn't get is that I don't Trump as a person. Yeah, he's at least in my eyes, he is a reprehensible person, but that's not my driving force for why I don't like him. I don't like him because he promised to do these absolutely amazing things in his first term, and then people can look at it and just be objectively, he didn't do 90 to or okay, no, that's not fair. He didn't do 80% of what he said. But
I also think a lot of that is that the government wouldn't let him. And I think things like that will change because our country unequivocally voted him into office this time. Last time it was so close and the government themselves did not like him. And this time there's a lot more government officials that are actually okay.
I don't think that the government ever opposed him.
No, they did. They did, and there is still some people in there that still do. I mean, dude, 2 assassination attempts on the guy. Like,
we're not getting into that here. We
can't, but I'm just saying, like, there is more to both of those, and I think we all know that, than some fucking scrub with a rifle. Like,
well, the point that I'm making is that I don't think that he was that opposed. If they shut you from before you take office with the Russian collusion hoax and then never stop, I say that. Okay, first of all, I never bought into the Russia stuff. 1, but 2, the Russia stuff, when they actually came out with that stuff, it didn't like directly invoke him, but there was stuff there that happened. It's just,
yeah, Pilgrim.
Hey. Don't cough BlackRock me. If you literally go on to Open Secrets, you can see that Trump takes BlackRock money too. So I don't want to hear about BlackRock. Okay.
BlackRock is way worse than anything. Yeah, that's true, Mafia Tape. They did impeach him over it.
Well, but like that's kind of the whole point, though. That's the point that I am making. The media and like the people in the government that don't like. I'm not saying that like everybody doesn't like him, but like there are those that don't like him, but they don't. The reason that people don't have this vision of him that I have of him is because they never ever oppose him the right way. It's always like they're outraged over stuff that he says, or they're outraged because there's this like boogeyman of Putin that he's like working with Putin. But like
that's also very true, Mufford Tape. They loved him until he ran for Republican. Because
no, see, look, they still love him, but they just can't say it. They still love him because he's the same dude. He is the same dude. He hasn't changed. He is the same dude. It's just that he is the president, and he's the president of the opposite party.
The country loved him.
No, bro.
You kidding me, dude? People used to watch The Apprentice. That was one of the most watched shows in America. People loved him.
See, Muffler, right? Yeah, exactly. So, like, Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, all of those older Dems, they all do love him, but they just can't say it because it would, defeat the whole purpose. That's why I'm saying he wasn't as, obstructed as y'all thought. He really wasn't, because on like stuff of war or like, bailing out like Wall Street, they were all in cahoots with him. They were all loving it. Democrats in his first term voted with him 35% of the time. That is unheard of. That never happens ever. So like the fact that happened is crazy. But I don't think that there's this hatred of Trump within our, government. That's just my own personal point.
I don't think there's a hatred of him. I think there's a certain sect that might be pretty powerful that doesn't like him.
But the argument, Roland, that I would make is that he's not threatening to shake up the power in that way.
Yeah, he is. With the Department of Government Efficiency, he will be.
I promise you that nothing will come of that. I
think that's one of the first things they're gonna go after. And honestly, he wants to. One of the things he does want to go after is like the CIA and shit like that, and that's gonna be tough.
Nah, nope, and no, nope. Because he's not a threat. He's not a threat. He's just not one.
I don't know, dude. He's the first president ever to like actually have a conversation with North Korea and make.
That's not a threat to the deep state.
No, I think waking the American people up is, though, and a lot of the American people
Trump's not waking the dude.
Dude, I see more people now than ever. And I was talking about the deep state when I was fucking 13, 14, like watching videos and shit. I see more people now, more than ever, that will admit to you, yeah, there's a deep state.
Everyone knows that there's a deep state.
No, they don't.
Everyone knows that.
No, they don't, because I'll bring it up to people in my family who are older, and they'll go, that's bullshit. That's conspiracy theory. And then I go, did you know the term conspiracy theory was created by the CIA because of JFK's assassination? And they'll go, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, look it up. They created that term because everybody said there's no way this one guy killed the president.
Well, the point is that
looking at Operation Mockingbird.
Okay, no, but like, look, Roland, he's not a threat because people are not waking up because, bro, not now. I'm not saying all, but a good portion of his voters think that the Earth is flat. Okay, so like,
I wouldn't even say a good portion. That's retarded.
Well, a lot of them are. So, and there are also a lot of Democrat voters that are too. So
there's also a lot of people on the Democrat side that think that a man can get pregnant, but that's not true either.
Well, by all technicality, it can be kind of. But there is no evidence that the Earth is flat. None.
There's no evidence that a biological male can be pregnant either.
But the point that I'm saying is that you said that he's waking people up, but people on his own side think that the Earth is flat.
Yes, Ronnie, I agree.
That is not. I am not straw manning. I am not. That is literally true. That is literally true.
That is the amount of people. Roman, have you ever met a person in real life who genuinely believes the Earth is flat?
Yes, I have. Many of them, actually.
Many. What is
yes?
Many? He did.
It wasn't over.
Yes, Ronnie, he did scoff.
It wasn't. It was not really overwhelming.
It was considering an election.
No, it wasn't. Bro won by like 0.9%.
Ronnie. Or muffler tape. I have met one person ever who tried to genuinely convince me that the Earth was flat. One guy. And he really tried.
It obviously didn't work, though.
No, I saw his points, and I'm just like, that doesn't work, though.
Well,
I've met a single person in all reality. You know what I talk about at fires and shit? You know what I talk about when I'm hanging out with people? I bring up, like, the nutty shit. I'll be talking about UFOs and fucking aliens and ghosts and conspiracy theory. Like, yeah, because I like to hear what people have to say about interesting shit. And then when someone goes, well, the Earth is flat, that's the one that gets me. I'm like, excuse me? How? And I had like a 20-minute conversation with somebody one time about this. And I was like, I see where you're coming from with that. But there's way too many things that...
Bro, there's pictures of the Earth that prove that it's not flat.
No, because they'll tell you that those pictures are doctored.
But you see what I'm saying, though, bro?
Well, what the other
Nothing's ever good enough for those types of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're fucking retarded.
Well,
I bet you can count on two hands how many people you've talked to that actually believe on the Earth is flat. You've not talked to more than 10 people that genuinely believe that.
I would say about 4.
4! That's 4. Not many. You said I have talked to many people who believe the Earth is flat. 4? I could have picked 4 retards from the Chamonix and been like, the Earth is flat.
I mean, I'm definitely bloated. I might have a little something in here. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying. There's many people. There's not many, but there's people out there as well that will go, yeah, a biological man who can be pregnant. there's also people out there that will tell you the craziest fucking shit. And you know what they used to call those people? The fucking town
Nutcases,
kook.
maybe?
The town kook. Don't talk to that guy. The people that were out there in 2012 going, the world's gonna end, with a fucking cardboard sign on them and a fucking tinfoil hat. Like, no one's
You know
listening
what, Ronnie? You should make a whole video called the Flat Roman conspiracy. That'd be funny. But yeah, no, I mean, overall, to go back to like the crux of your question, if my life improves, sure, but my life's not going to improve. So the answer to your question is no.
That's not a very good thing to say. I would hope by the time you're 28 years old, your life has improved.
Well, financially, my life won't. I mean,
you don't know.
If I make any improvements, it'll be done by me, not by him.
But I'm not saying it's done by him. I'm just saying if it's easier. Yeah, exactly. Fucking StreamYards. They want Roman to be flat.
Dude, I wish I was flat. That would mean that I was skinny.
Flat Roman.
Flat Roman. You know,
Ronnie said, by the way, Ronnie said bet.
Yeah. You know, do you know the flat